Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we dive into the latest global news and current events. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm glad you're joining us today. As we start this episode, we're going to take a closer look at the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. In recent developments, Ukraine's army chief has vowed to expand strikes on Russia, citing the need for a more proactive approach in defending against Russian aggression. This statement comes amidst a wider context of escalating tensions between the two nations, with both sides engaging in military actions and diplomatic maneuvers. According to reports from the Moscow Times, Ukraine still holds around 90 square kilometers of territory in Russia's Kursk region, which was captured during a cross-border incursion last August. Russian officials, however, claim that they have regained full control of the area. It's essential to note that this conflict is complex and multifaceted, with both sides presenting their own narratives and justifications for their actions. As we continue to follow this story, it's crucial to consider multiple sources and perspectives to gain a deeper understanding of the situation. The international community remains concerned about the humanitarian impact of the conflict, with thousands of civilians caught in the crossfire. Diplomatic efforts are ongoing, but a lasting resolution seems elusive at this point. As we explore this topic further, we'll strive to provide balanced and unbiased coverage, acknowledging the nuances and complexities involved. We'll examine the historical context, the current military situation, and the diplomatic efforts underway to resolve the conflict. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. We're continuing our coverage of the developing story in the Middle East, where tensions have escalated significantly after the United States joined Israel's military campaign against Iran. As we delve into this complex and sensitive topic, I want to assure our listeners that we'll strive to provide a fair and balanced perspective, avoiding any bias and focusing on the facts as they unfold. Over the past 24 hours, we've seen a significant escalation of hostilities in the region, with the U.S. conducting airstrikes against Iranian nuclear sites. This move has been met with widespread concern from the international community, with many leaders calling for de-escalation and a return to diplomatic efforts. The European Union has been vocal in its appeal for calm, with EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen emphasizing that the negotiating table is the only place to end this crisis. The bloc's top diplomat, Kaja Kallas, has also urged all sides to step back and prevent further escalation, highlighting the threat posed by a potential nuclear bomb. Meanwhile, the International Committee of the Red Cross has warned of the risks of a war with irreversible consequences, emphasizing the need to spare civilians and medical personnel from the conflict. IRC President Mirjana Spoljaric has called for international humanitarian law to be upheld, stressing that the world cannot absorb limitless war. As we examine the various perspectives on this issue, it's clear that there are deeply held concerns about the potential consequences of further escalation. The situation remains fluid and unpredictable, with multiple stakeholders involved and a range of possible outcomes. It's essential to approach this topic with nuance and sensitivity, recognizing the complexities and historical contexts that underpin the conflict. As we continue to monitor developments, we'll aim to provide our listeners with accurate and unbiased information, helping you stay informed about this critical issue. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we conclude today's show, I'd like to take a moment to discuss the recent developments in the Middle East, specifically the U.S. air strikes on Iran. This is a complex and sensitive issue, with many different perspectives and opinions. According to reports, the UK has stated that its military was not involved in the American airstrikes on Iran, although Prime Minister Keir Starmer has expressed support for their outcome. The British government received advance warning from Washington, And while they had urged President Trump to stick to the diplomatic path, they also acknowledged the importance of preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. It's worth noting that this situation puts the UK in a difficult position as they strive to balance their relationship with the US, their most important ally, with their own commitment to diplomacy and international law. The Labour Party, in particular, is keen to avoid any repeat of the mistakes of the past, such as the controversy surrounding the US invasion of Iraq. As we consider this situation, it's essential to remember that the Middle East is a volatile region with many different players and interests at stake. The UK has bolstered its military presence in the area, with additional fighter jets and refueling planes deployed to ensure the defense of British bases. Meanwhile, the government is urging nationals located in Israel and the Palestinian territories to register their presence with the Foreign Office and is organizing a charter flight to remove those who wish to leave. As we navigate this complex issue, it's crucial to remain informed, nuanced, and respectful of different perspectives. We must also acknowledge the potential consequences of any actions taken, including the impact on regional stability, global energy markets, and the lives of innocent civilians. In conclusion, the situation in the Middle East is a pressing concern that requires careful consideration and thoughtful analysis. As we move forward, it's essential to prioritize diplomacy, international cooperation, and a commitment to finding peaceful solutions to complex problems. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.